I usually don't watch animes that are not based on a manga or a book, since these animes are not stories. In order to be a story, they have to be written by writers, and they are not. But since I am low on the animes that are currently airing, I decided to try and watch even the animes that are not based on a manga or a book. My anime list right now is this: Black Clover, Re:Zero, No Guns Life, Fire Force, and Rent a Girlfriend. But those are not enough for me. I usually prefer around 10 animes to watch weekly. So, desperate times call for desperate measures. One of the reasons why I give this kind of animes a chance is due to Psycho-Pass. Psycho-Pass is not based on a manga or a book, but the story is epic. My theory on why Psycho-Pass is great, even though it is not based on a manga, is due to the studio kidnapping a writer and tell him that the price for your freedom is writing a story. If this kind of story is your thing, then I strongly recommend it. It's mind-blowing, very deep, clever, and thought-provoking. But I only recommend the first season, because since they did release that writer from captivity, they could not bring him back for the second season, nor find another writer. So watch it only the first season. Anyway, before I did try the Millionaire Detective, I tried Decadence. Things were going well until this did happen. So that's what happens when you haven't got a real writer on board. So my expectations for the Millionaire Detective going in were non-existent. I was just thinking, don't do something stupid. Don't do something stupid. The story starts fast. A couple of things were happening at once, and that got my attention. Part of me was happy to see that, and the other part was thinking, what if they put all of their ideas into the first episode and there will be nothing left, so I was worried. But I did watch the first 3 episodes. There's nothing to worry about. The story is great. For an anime, of course. Is it manga level? No. But I don't see it as a bad thing. This story doesn't have the many great things that a manga story has, but the same could be said the other way around. There are good things that this kind of stories have that you cannot find in a manga. A small example. People talking as people, or reacting to certain things as people would. While you cannot find anything like that in a manga. Everyone in a manga is a psycho. Which is great. But every once in a while you want to see something different, even if that something different is inferior. Since it is entertainment after all, and not heart surgery. Because when it comes to heart surgery, you want everything to be on the highest level and nothing less. But in entertainment, a change is good sometimes. Anyway, I was really surprised how good the Millionaire Detective is. The amount of work that has gone in is incredible. Whoever is responsible for that, whether it is just one person or a group of people, they have my respect. With some changes, this story could also work as a manga. I guess people who are working on this story took notes from mangas and did apply them in their story. One of those notes is that there should not be a dull or filler moment in the story. And I did not see any dull or filler moment in the first 3 episodes. The other great thing is the characters. There isn't that much time, since this story will have only 11 episodes, but somehow they did find a way to put the spotlight on all of their characters. Which is impressive. This point is connected to what I was saying earlier. There should not be a filler moment. And that was the platform that did allow them to get into the next level. Every character has a part to play and thus contribute to the story in one way or the other in their own unique way. And that's what makes the dialogue so entertaining and engaging to watch. Again, this is really impressive for an anime that is not based on a story. Another thing that is great is the tools that the kanebe uses to solve the cases. This could have gone so wrong that it would turn the story into a cartoon, because it can easily be used the same way as luck is used. Every time a problem arises, then there is a special tool that the character can use to nullify or get out of the problem. And it does look like a cheat. You are betraying the audience. But that is not the case in this story. They did manage this technique well. They did use it to their advantage to move the story into another level. And they were able to pull that off because everything is very well thought out. There are setups, and that's why it doesn't look like a cheat. And also it makes the story so interesting, because you are wondering now what is possible. As the name of the story tells you, the budget of the detective is unlimited. As I said at the beginning that there are a lot of things that happen at the same time. One of the reasons why is due to how the story is structured. Since the main focus is about this group of detectives dealing and solving cases, the story moves fast and to the point. Once the case is solved, the story moves to different places and characters, so it is very entertaining and interesting. The interaction between the characters is great. They are always interesting, they get your attention, there's always something new, and that's the most important thing for a story. And lastly, if you are going to watch this story, don't expect to be the same level as a manga story. So don't expect to give you the same things. You are not going to be glued to the screen trying to figure out what is happening or having your mind blown constantly. But you will be laid back, relaxed, and enjoying the story. In terms of the structure of the story, this story is similar to Ghost in the Shell. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.